Hello, this is Anna Imagination. We're going to talk about big choices versus little choices. This is a topic that's fascinating to me. I think differently than most people, and I realized lately that what I consider a big or a little choice has value to it. We're going to switch all of this over to dollar amounts and money. This is really vital. We are going to exactly convert this over into money. So a choice has a monetary value to it. And monetary is a bad word, but it really communicates the point. It's not a bad word. It's a really great visual for this example. I want you to think of choices as having a monetary value. Now, most people think only the big choices are the ones that matter, and they ignore the little choices. Now, I'm very, very different in this way. This is actually the core of my healing. Everything is I have a monetary value attached to my big choices, my little choices, my medium choices. All of my choices have a monetary value in my head. Now, I'm going to put me down as example or person A. And then you have person B. Person B also has monetary value rating all of their choices in their heads. Now, I want you to separate it. My choices fall under literally a rating system of the monetary value. So when I make a choice, I take in the monetary value, I sit back and I weigh in the choice. 100% of all of my choices, I weigh them against this monetary value. We are going to cover it in just a moment. Now, over here, you've got a lot of other people, a person B. Now, they have also a monetary system where they weigh in all of their choices. The difference between my mind and their mind is this. Person B has a massive amount of monetary value for the big choices. So they will put monetary value on big choices, and then they won't rate any of the little choices. They will either be maybe a penny if they put any monetary value, but they don't value them. So they're making choices left and right without any concept of monetary value. So they're throwing choices left and right all the time. Now, breaking up with someone, getting married, buying a car, changing your job, they'll pause and they'll go, oh, I got to think about this one. That's monetary value. I don't think like that. This is how I think. Every single choice that I make, every one has the same monetary value. Every one. It does not matter if I am debating on what kind of toilet paper I am using. It does not matter if I am debating on what and if I'm going to eat lunch. Those choices are no different than, am I going to buy a car? Now, I need to emphasize this to you. Needing to buy a car. I live in New York City. Insurance in New York City, in case you don't know, is like $3,000 a month. Okay, it feels like that. It's about $600 a month. $600 a month in New York City. That is insurance, car insurance in New York City. Process that. So when I say to you that I'm thinking about buying a car, you've got the car, okay, we all know that, but it's New York City insurance. And it's also $600 to $1,000 a month in parking, just to park it. So this is a big decision in New York City. Now, I'm not saying that this decision is as low as thinking about toilet paper. It's the reverse. I mean, choosing if I'm going to eat, what I'm going to eat for dinner, where I'm going to eat for dinner, if I'm going to watch TV tonight, if I'm going to bed early. Every one of these choices are as important and as valuable as, am I going to buy this car? They are the same in value. And the reason why is because my time is money. So if I'm going to eat, I want to make sure that I am eating whole food, healthy food, because I can't afford to get sick. I also think things like I need to make sure I'm not eating 5 meals a day because I don't want that kind of time used up. So I want to make sure that when I eat, it's nutrition, it's healthy, it's filling, because I don't want to waste more time eating unnecessarily, because that is more time lost. There was an exercise that went out there where it was, how much are you worth every hour? And I calculated it. I broke down what my hourly worth is, what I am worth every hour. This took a lot of work to figure out, and I have condensed it down to a gorgeous formula. The first thing that I took into consideration for what my hourly worth is what people say about me. When people say things like, wow, a 30-minute conversation with you was more than 6 years in therapy, that says a lot. When I have other people who tell me, oh my God, I just had a 1-hour conversation with you and my PTSD is gone. How much am I worth? So now I'm sitting back evaluating my hourly rate. To be blunt, $5,000 an hour. That is what I am worth. I am worth $5,000 an hour, which means if I am going to watch an hour of television, I'm going to spend $5,000. I think like this. If I'm going to go to bed early, it's because I am investing in better sleep so I can think better the next day. So my brain will be sharper. So I can be valued and worth at that $5,000 an hour. It's called opportunity cost. It's making sure that I am at prime optimum performance to get the most out of my $5,000 an hour. Because if I am feeling sick or under the weather, I lose money. I lose productivity. I'm not recording these courses. That's going to be a huge financial hit for me later. This is how I think. When I decide what kind of toilet paper I'm going to use, it's a breakdown of literally how many times am I going to wipe my ass? How efficient is this job going to be when I get it done? Laugh. But Steve Jobs wore the same fucking shirt every day. I do too. Have you noticed? It's because this takes time, and time is money. The more choices you make, deciding the little shit like you've got time like that to waste, it blows my mind. I don't understand it. So the first question I ask when I make a little choice is this petty? Is this worth $5,000 an hour? I'm not going to spend time thinking about this shit. I'm going to do it. Same thing with if you are evaluating what you should be buying, where you should be spending it, what's considered a small decision or a big decision. These are really big things. Now, here's the other side of choice making that a lot of people oversee. And this is the big difference between mentally ill and mentally solid. This is really everything. We are an accumulation of our habits. A habit is a choice. We have this real dumb, toxic belief from the noisy know-nothings. I really hate noisy know-nothings. Noisy know-nothings love to claim that habit is absolutely not a choice, and that's bullshit. A habit is a choice that you've chosen to repeat because you value it. I'm going to say that again. A habit is a choice that you have chosen to repeat because you value it. So now when you take a step back and you look at your habits, you're choosing them because you value them. Now, if you're going, I don't value them, well, then why are you doing it? You are choosing to repeat your behavior every single day. Do you value it? So now, when you look at the accumulation of your habits, those are all your little choices. Do they have purpose? Are they productive? Are they getting you where you want to go? My habit is not fussing over what clothes I'm going to wear. My habit is making sure I spend minimal amounts of time in the kitchen. So I'm going to make sure that when I do eat, it's going to fill me up. And I only have to eat 2 times a day. So I'm more productive because I understand productivity cost. Now I'm suddenly making choices to make sure I am getting the most out of my brain. Suddenly I'm checking what I'm eating. I'm making sure that I'm exercising, because if I don't exercise, it's going to take a toll on my mental and physical health, and that's going to interfere with my productivity. I have a significant problem with interference. Mother Nature really, really has a way of fucking people up when it comes to interference. So I make sure I stay real clear and away from interference. So exercising, making sure I eat smart and healthy, making sure I get enough sleep, evaluating and making sure that my gorgeous triangle of my genie bottle, my self-care, I hate the word self-care, my genie bottle, my adventure zone, and my comfort zone are balanced. When those 3 things are balanced, I am in unity. I know everything is getting its needs where its needs are met. Everything is doing very, very well. I'm making sure that I'm checking my AIDNS. I'm making sure that all of these things are in operating prime operation systems, because it's going to affect my opportunity cost, which is going to affect my productivity. And my productivity matters. So does yours if you decide it does. So when you decide how much you're worth, pick a number and you start living by that number. Here's the other thing. Let's flip this around. Oh, I'm not worth $5,000 an hour. I'm worth maybe $10 an hour, if you say so. It's more like I want to be worth $1,000 an hour. Okay, then what do you got to do to make yourself be worth $1,000? Boy, I remember when I was at that stage. I was at that stage. I started off, I remember I read something somewhere about how much you are worth. And I went, well, I'm worth $25 an hour. Well, I'm worth $30. It kept going up. It kept going up. I'm worth $30 an hour. Well, and it just kept going up and up. I finally got to about $50 an hour, $60 an hour. And that's when I was going, all right, $80,000 work. No, $150,000 a year. No, 200. No, I could do $1 million. No. I want $1 million a month. Yes, I went from $1 million a year to wanting $1 million a month. That's right. That's right. That's me. And when I started to think in terms like that, I really sat back and said, okay, what is my actual value? How much am I worth? And I started to realize that there's the pushing you down, thinking you're worth down here. And then there's pushing yourself up. And there's going to be a time where you keep changing the number. Change the number. It means you're still finding it. Keep changing the number. And it finally tapped out at $5,000. It was $5,000 an hour. It was quite amusing, actually. It was about a month ago. And I was at 2,000 an hour at that point. And I was talking to a really rude fucking asshole. And he wasted my time. And I went, why did he waste your time, Anna? Because you let him. Why did you let him? Because you poo-pooed $2,000 and thought, I can spare time for this person, even though I hadn't received $2,000. Apparently, that's too little for me. Apparently, I don't have a problem throwing away $2,000. So I increased it to $5,000. Wow, $5,000. Now that is a number I'm not comfortable wasting. There it is. What number are you not comfortable wasting? That's how much you're worth. That's how I did it. I was at 2,000. Apparently, I had no problems wasting $2,000. Yeah, I gave that asshole $2,000 of my time. And it resulted in a slight trauma experience, crying, and a mental day. And I was like, what the fuck? Was that worth $2,000? No. If you could sue him for damages done, I did this. What would you say that was worth? I would say he took $5,000. Well, there's your number. $5,000. So the next time I have an asshole telling me that he wants my time and he's going to abuse me in the process, really? First of all, there is no price for abusing me. But if he cannot dish out $5,000 on the spot, he's not going to get an hour of my time because it's not worth wasting my time. If you abuse me, it's going to double every time. It's actually something I'm playing with myself to see. Like next time, if there is a next time that I'm abused, that number is going to double and it's going to be $10,000. So technically, this number marks for as many times as somebody has abused me who I have let through my circle of trust. It's really fascinating because I'm wondering where it's going to end up if it goes up any further. So this number is also a representation of what it cost me to be abused. So yeah, I'm at $5,000 an hour. So now when I make small choices, every single small choice is a contribution to my habit. You see, I have goals. I have a purpose. I have a desire. I have a lot of desires. I am ambitious. You look up ambitious in the dictionary and there's my face. I am ambitious. So I have cherry-picked exact habits to literally amplify who I am, what I want, and where I'm going. And if anyone fucks up with this process and my habits, it's going to cost $5,000 an hour because that is what it's going to cost to disrupt my habit schedule. Because my habits are values that I have cherry-picked to feed into my goal and my purpose. I'm on a ship and I'm on a journey and I'm sailing and I've got a destination. And every single choice I make affects my ship. So suddenly there is no such thing as small choices because small choices add to the habit forming. So when you devalue small choices, you are literally cutting the legs out from under you. How often do you buy a car? 3 times a lifetime? 5 times a lifetime? Really? How often do you buy a car? How often do you choose which toilet paper to buy? How often do you choose what to wear? Add it up. How much time are you wasting deciding what to wear? Steve Jobs was fucking spot on with this. We're talking about how much time you are wasting on frivolous shit. That is the power and the value of a choice. We'll sit there and go, all right, I'm marrying her. I'm going to think about this. Yeah, you marry her once. But are you giving that much credit and weight to all the little things that you are doing through your entire life that actually add up and make up your life? We devalue the little choices all the time. This is a big one. Who are your friends? Who are you hanging out with? Who are you giving your time to? This is a big one. I'm $5,000. My partner is priceless. My children are priceless. Some friends that I met today, they are not worth $5,000. Some friends who I chatted with today, they're worth $5,000 because they fed my brain. They increased the value of my brain, which increased the value of me. Therefore, it was worth the $5,000 that I invested into those people. But the game I could have played if I went across town and spent an hour and a half on a train to get to Harlem, now wait a minute. That's $5,000 that it's going to cost me to ride that train, only to hang out with one person who I do know. However, casual setting with strangers and most likely no deep conversation, which is not going to enhance my brain. I'm looking at about 6 hours total. Now that's a $30,000 loss. This is how I think. $30,000 loss to go hang out with strangers, to play games that I don't know if I'll even enjoy, to have no intellectual conversation. Not worth $30,000. This is how you should be thinking, because this puts things in perspective for you. Me hanging out with my partner for a day, he's priceless. Me watching TV with my daughter, priceless. But me hanging out with a bunch of strangers at a mixer, hoping to find a friend, no, not even close. Me going to somebody's birthday party and speaking to 4 good friends while having definitely 8 hours of significant social conversation, and definitely the entire time I will be doing research for my work, oh, fuck yes, that'll be worth it. But then you put me in a situation where I might be talking to a bunch of strangers and it's definitely not going to be deep conversation because everyone's there to be lax and have a good time. Not worth my time. But now, not worth my time has meaning to it. So when you assign monetary value to your choices and you suddenly understand the weight of each and every choice you make, suddenly, what should I read really has a lot more weight on it than what should I draw? Who should I go hang out with? I have a particular person. This person goes to hang out with friends. He spends probably 8 hours a week hanging out with these friends. And he has literally zero value for himself. And he keeps repeating the same behavior over and over again his entire life. And it's extraordinary to watch his life literally diminish and wither away. It's all about literally what you value, how much something is worth, and what value you're going to assign to that choice. Because at the end of the day, what you are really choosing is the habits that you are building and forming to get the results you want, to get to your end destination. How bad do you want it? Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.